With the ending of Sonic 3, it feels like a lot of questions have been opened up for the future of this franchise. And by this, I'm mostly referring to the first end credit scene with Amy and the GOAT himself, Metal Sonic. The thing that is confusing to me about this end credit scene is how different it is from the last couple of end credit scenes. For Sonic the Hedgehog 1, the end credit scene showed us Tails, which was an easy soul read for the next movie, a Sonic 2 recreation, which is what they ended up doing, but they also did a Sonic 3 and 2 storyline with Knuckles and Tails both being introduced. For the Sonic 2 end credit scene, we got a massive teaser with Shadow, which would obviously be a massive hint for a Sonic Adventure 2 adaptation of the story. But this end credit scene, I have no idea where we're going with this. I mean, the obvious answer would be Sonic CD, since that's the game where Amy, Rose, and Metal Sonic both first appeared in. But the problem with that is that Sonic CD is technically the second game in the video game timeline. And Amy was kind of a damsel in distress in that movie, with Sonic needing to save her from Metal Sonic, but it just doesn't feel like they're going with that whole damsel in distress thing, with Amy pulling up and murking most of the new Metal Sonics. It doesn't exactly scream incapable girl, but I digress. So let's take this one theory at a time, and we'll start with Metal Sonic is obviously going to be the next main antagonist for the next Sonic film. However, I don't think Metal Sonic is going to be the main villain. I think that honor is going to go to Neo Metal Sonic. Having an army of disposable Metal Sonics and then the main big bad being Neo Metal Sonic would seem like the perfect choice for this villain. And I feel like this would really work out for some of the character arcs that have been set up in previous films. In the IDW comics, Neo Metal Sonic took over for Eggman when Eggman went missing. He was a fully capable leader on his own, and he was 2 steps ahead of the main cast for most of the arc. Neo has been shown that it requires multiple people in order to defeat one of him, which would be perfect for the upcoming film with it being a 4v1. Maybe Team Sonic could actually work together as Team Sonic, with Amy being the missing link to this fight. For the last couple of movies, there have been some themes of working together as a team. They did it in Sonic 2 for Eggman. In Sonic 3, they work as a team for a good majority of the movie until Sonic goes off and does his own thing. And I feel like Sonic 4 would finally be the perfect film for them to actually team up and work together as a team and to defeat Neo Metal Sonic. I feel like all 4 of them fighting Neo Metal would be an awesome climax for the movie. And then when Neo Metal realizes he's about to lose, he could turn into Metal Overlord and we can have a giant boss fight against him. For me, Neo Metal makes sense as the next villain. But who made the Metal Sonic in Neo Metal then? Agent Stone feels like he's been set up as Eggman's successor, and he also is so widely loved by audiences, I don't think they would just throw him away for the 4th film. Now, one reason I believe Stone will be Eggman's successor is because of the end of Sonic 2. Now, for the 3rd movie, Jim Carrey wasn't guaranteed to come back, and I do ponder in a what-if universe, it had to be a different version of the script Eggman-less. I believe that script would have seen Stone as the main villain. Now, some people might say, well, Stone is not that smart. Stone might not be capable enough. Well, I would say he's really capable and smart. In the 2nd movie, we saw Stone learn how to use Eggman's giant robot just by reading the manual really quickly. He's learning a new technology that he has never experienced before, just like that for the Doctor. We also see in the 3rd movie him driving his bike to disable all of the drones. He is more than capable of being by himself. But this question, when was Metal Sonic made? We know it could have happened between the 1st movie and the 2nd movie, so it had to have happened between the 2nd and the 3rd movie. This is starting to get a little cuckoo crazy, because when could Eggman have made it? Well, I have a theory. We know Agent Stone might not be an inventor, but he is really good at listening to the Doctor's orders and specific commands. What if Eggman, after he got recovered from the hospital, wanted to kill Sonic, so he made plans for Metal Sonic and Neo Metal Sonic using the quills he has been collecting, then ended up getting a seasonal depression, and then with Eggman dying on the 3rd film, Agent Stone takes it upon himself to complete the Doctor's mission and killing that rotten hedgehog, and uses the plans of Metal to try and kill him. The only problem with this is, where does Neo Metal fit into this plan? Is Neo Metal real? Is he going to be in this? Or am I just reaching? What if Agent Stone, being the simp that he is, misses Dr. Eggman so much, he makes an AI of Eggman? What if the AI demands to kill Sonic, and so the AI makes plans for Stone to make a Neo Metal Sonic and Metal Sonic army? The AI Eggman goes along with everything and has Neo Metal under his control until Neo Metal goes awry and does its own revolution, turning against the AI Eggman. Okay, I don't know if that theory is as possible as the first one, but I definitely think Stone is going to be set up as a villain or foe. He very well could be used in a show or a movie, because after the success of Sonic 4, Paramount is probably going to greenlight a lot more projects from this franchise. I could see him showing up in a Knuckles Season 2, or maybe even a Shadow Show. Please don't do a Shadow Show, just make a movie. I'll buy 10,000 tickets if you need to make your money back. I personally wouldn't like Eggman, or at least Jim Carrey's rendition of Eggman, coming back, because of the ending with him was already so good, and I feel like it would ruin that whole moment. I feel like it would ruin the whole momentum of the "I've come to make an announcement" scene. But what if Metal Sonic is not even from our time, but rather from the... Even though it looks like it's the future. Now, there is a couple of things that could back up the notion that Metal Sonic is from the future. When we first see Metal Sonic, he is surrounded by a blue lightning aura and gets turned on for the first time. So could he potentially be like a Terminator sent from the future? The game where Metal Sonic is from does involve time travel, with Sonic going back and forth to future and past. So could Metal have been sent from the future? I think it could be very likely that a stone from the future finally figured out how to kill Sonic. If Stone did make Metal Sonic and he did invent time travel, then why didn't he just go back in time and save Eggman? And that's how they could bring him back realistically. I've explained 1.5 of the new characters that we've seen, but what about Amy?
Do you have any idea what's going on outside?
Judging by your outrage, I'd guess someone's having fun.
Now, before we start this section, I do have a confession to make. Amy is not, like, even in the top 10 Sonic characters for me, so I'm not really educated on the characterization and, like, the little details with Amy, but I do think I have some theories with Amy. Now, I think for the first part of explaining why Amy's on Earth, I don't think they're going on the direction with she's madly in love with Sonic. Because, I mean, that would just kind of be weird if she was like Tails from the second movie, where she just stalked Sonic. It was like, yeah, that guy's kind of hot. And seeing as they're going further and further away from the characterization of Amy being madly in love with Sonic, Sonic Generations kind of confirms this, with them changing entire cutscenes with Amy in them to make him seem like her own character and someone who don't need no man. Now, for the reason why I do think she's on Earth, there is a character trait that she does have that can explain her why she's on Earth: her tarot cards. For those who don't know, and if you weren't a hardcore Sonic fan that digs into the characters, Amy has this character trait that has always existed, where she uses her tarot cards. Tarot cards have made some minuscule experiences, but they can tell the future. So what if Amy uses her tarot cards and it said that she would meet her true love on Earth, or she needed to be on Earth to protect life? I mean, one other thing about Amy's character is that she is very caring and has a kind nature to all living life. So what if she would go to Earth to protect others from dangerous situations? One more important thing with Amy's character is that she is a hedgehog, and she will be the third hedgehog to appear in the movie universe. So this could be a really helpful lore drop on explaining where Sonic and Shadow are from. At the moment, Sonic doesn't know his origins. We just know he was adopted by Longclaw, and Shadow doesn't know his origin, period. I just assume Black Doom is a part of his origin, but we'll have to get into that later. Amy being a hedgehog, perchance we can finally learn where the origin of hedgehogs come from.
Where's that damn fourth Chaos Emerald?
Shadow is in a weird spot right now. It feels like we could either go two routes with him. We either get a hype solo movie, or he gets his own show. I feel like they should go the movie route, mostly because I want Shadow to show up in his own piece of media for more than 74 minutes. I like the Knuckles show, however, I don't think a funny or goofy show would really be a good fit for Shadow. Right now, we don't even know if he's on Earth, which he very well could be, and this theory I'm about to spit would mean nothing. I, for one, do not think Shadow will show up in Sonic 4. I feel like we might put him on a bit of a break for his own solo adventure. I think if movie 3 has shown us anything, is that fleshing out two brand new characters and trying to have a cohesive storyline makes the movie go at an insane pace. And I feel like we still have a lot more potential with Shadow's character. And balancing his character with Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, and fleshing out Amy and Metal and Neo Metal would just be a mess. So I think Shadow will not fully show up and fight. I think he's gonna kind of do his own thing as movie or TV show. We will either do a series with Shadow taking down Gun or investigating Gun. I feel like Gun is not gonna be able to fit its way into the next movie, but who knows? They have a way of weaseling their way into every movie. But I don't think Gun will be the focus in the next film. I mean, we got a bit too much of Gun in Sonic 2 and a lot of Gun in Sonic 3. So Gun weaseling their way into the fourth film for a major role just doesn't seem like it's gonna happen. Unless they made Metal Sonic. Wait, what?
For his neutral special, he wields a gun.
Okay, so this idea might seem a little bit out of left field and probably should have been earlier in this video, but I just thought of this idea as I was writing the script. Gun right now doesn't have a good relationship with Sonic. The commander girl, on whose name I forgot, probably hates Sonic and his family, with Palm impersonating her dead boss and Sonic, Knuckles, and Tails breaking into Gun headquarters. And the one thing we do know about Gun is they have no lack of amazing inventors. They had access to Eggman and the Buyer, who were both able to make incredible weapons with a single quill of our heroes and go almost toe-to-toe with them. G.U.N right now could possibly view Sonic as a threat, so they made a Metal Sonic army to try and kill him. And the only one at G.U.N who cared and trusted Sonic was Commander Towers. And now that he's gone, they might not have a good relationship with the Blue Burr. We do know that they do view aliens as a threat. Do I think this is true? I don't know. It's starting to get a bit crazy. But hey, I'm going off a collected of 1 minute and 49 seconds of footage.
Shadow, it's me, the devil. I'm here to convince you to do sin. Come with me.
Now, before I got sidetracked with the idea of G.U.N, I was talking about Shadow having 2 options for a solo story. He can either do the G.U.N show, or we have...
Hey, what's up? It's me.
Stop! And they set up Shadow having alien origins. He very well could meet the Doom Forces in a solo movie, with Shadow having to meet Rouge or Omega and take down Black Doom. Maybe he could even track down the Chaos Emeralds to use the power of them like he did in Shadow the Hedgehog. But I feel like there also is a lot more we could do with Shadow. We could do a clone saga with Shadow that could tie back into G.U.N, with G.U.N trying to replicate his power all these years, and they've made a whole bunch of clone Shadow robots. I brought up the Chaos Emeralds earlier, but where are the Chaos Emeralds?
Right here. Chaos Emeralds, President. Put your hands up and turn around slowly. Chaos control. Oh my God.
Right now, we really don't know where the Chaos Emeralds are. Unless a film director said it in an interview, we don't know where they could be. Half could be in Sonic and half could be in Shadow. I feel like at least one of the emeralds has to be with Shadow, so that way he can do his signature technique, Chaos Control, in his own solo project. I feel like 4th film may not do super forms. One reason I say this is because the last 2 films, the cop-out for the bad situations our heroes have been in, were the Chaos Emeralds. Sonic 2, Sonic goes supersonic and there's basically no fight left. It's just kind of a victory lap at that point. Sonic 3, Shadow and Sonic fight until they chill out and stop the arc cannon using their super forms. I do like the super forms. I love Super Sonic. I think it would be awesome if they all beat up Neo Metal Sonic and he turns into Metal Overlord, and the only way they win this is by all of them going super. And by all of them going super, I mean all of them. Stop copping out Sega, Super Tails, Super Amy, and Super Knuckles. I feel like they would have Shadow collect the Chaos Emeralds and take on Black Doom, just like the Shadow the Hedgehog video game. Enough of my crackpot theories. It's time for your theories. I posted on YouTube, Instagram, Discord, and Reddit, and I got some actual responses from people in the community. So let's go over them. Mega Man X3, my beloved, says, robot copies of Sonic in the bad future. Sounds like the perfect time to drop Silver. I do think Metal Sonic could potentially be from the future. However, I don't think that film is going to involve Silver. Reasons mentioned earlier, but the last film felt really bloated from just having 2 new characters to build upon. Even though we mostly focused on Shadow, we still didn't get to focus a lot on Jiro. I feel like to do Silver justice, he would have his own film set up with his own end credit scene, and let the hype of Amy and Metal Sonic carry this film. Silver Power 642 says, I'd say since Sonic 4 is likely about time travel, Eggman Nega will be the main villain as a future descendant of Dr. Robotnik. I definitely think there will be a different form of Eggman in this film that's not the Jim Carrey one. However, we know from the film Eggman doesn't have any known descendants. He says he is the last of his bloodline. Now, he was kinda wrong about this because Jiro was alive, but I think that's slightly different in this scenario. Childhood Distinct 538 says, hear me out. Future Agent Stone becomes Eggman Nega and creates Metal Sonic to kill Sonic in the past like Terminator. Now, I have stated that Agent Stone will probably be the continuation of Eggman, and him adopting the persona of Eggman could happen. However, that feels kind of weird for Stone, like he loves Eggman so much that he just becomes him? Bales Boy says, I'd honestly love if during the 5th film they go the Shadow Android route. I think if they go do the Android route of things, it would involve G.U.N. With G.U.N having access to Shadow for all these years, they would have had to try and make some attempt at replicating his power. Motion Amateur says, Metal Sonic was made by Robotnik, but activated by Agent Stone after Robotnik's death. Agent Stone will carry on the legacy of Robotnik. As I mentioned earlier, I do believe Stone will carry on the legacy of Eggman. It's just nice to know that I might not be the only crazy person out there who believes this. But one last theory. It's not even from me, rather from...
And there seems to be no sign of intelligent life anywhere.
Okay, hear me out for my theory. I've not watched a single movie of Sonic, so I have no knowledge, no prior knowledge of what the heck is going on in any of the movies. But my theory is, for the next movie, Amy is going to run into Sonic somehow. I don't even know how, but they're going to have like this lovey-dovey scene where it's going to be like Sonic running in slow motion and Amy running in slow motion. And Amy's going to be like, Sonic, I like you. And Son's gonna be like, ooh, chili dog. And he's going to accidentally bump into Amy, who thought she was getting hugged by Sonic. And then they're gonna be like, oh man. And then, I don't know, the time after they finally, I don't know, get together or something. I don't know. But then Sonic, Amy, Tails, and Knuckles are going to team up and defeat Metal Sonic. And maybe, just maybe, even Shadow will come back to help Sonic and the gang. That's my theory. And also my theory is, just like Hank from Breaking Bad, Eggman's gonna come out of his gravestone. That's my theory.
I'm so sorry I had to show you that. I have a deal with Hayden's mom that for every video he's in, she gives me $5 for her son to be able to appear on an actually successful YouTube channel that has high quality content. That's all my theories and some of the community's theories. If you like this video, why not hit that subscribe button? I don't normally do theory content like this, but I actually had a lot of fun and I might do something similar to this in the future. See you in the next one.
Hey fellas, knock off all that high society crap and play some of this.